Okay, class, so this is the help video for lesson 26. Now, level 1 is just where you're going to learn the game. So you can go on and you can play the game. We're this little alien, we're trying to collect the stars, and we have these platforms that we can land on. Now, when we land on them, we can sit on them, and then we can take off again. Our score reaches 20. We should see the screen or the backdrop change. 25. I don't remember. There it is. Then we get a different background. So that's what we're trying to build. So we're going to go ahead and jump into level 3. That's where the build starts. And when we look at this, it says the first thing that you will create for your game is the background. Okay. Sample 1 had 2 different backgrounds. So we want to do this. We're going to create a additional background, a background 2. So when we read this, it says do this, read the code for background 1, fill the background 2 function with new code for a second background, and then we're going to test it by calling our function. So we go to the down to the bottom. Here's background 1. Here's background 2. So we just need to get a background in there right now. We're going to do something nice and easy. We're going to do a background, and we're just going to put a simple color. And we're going to make it green, so it'll be easy to tell if it changes. So function. Okay, that's your background. So fill it with the function with new code. So there's our code for the first one. There's our code for the second one. Now we need to call that. We're going to come up here. We're going to go to function, and remember this piece of code right here calls background 2. Here we go. Run. So it's working. It's overriding background 1. So for now, that's perfectly fine. So now we're going to go on to level 4. Now level 4, score variable. This is what's going to be able to make us choose which background is going to appear. Okay. So it says you should always give your variable a starting value, and we'll do that here in a second. So it says create a variable at the beginning of the game, set the score equal to 0. So I'm in the variable tab, and we're going to do this var x equals. That means we're creating a variable. It's going to be called score. It needs to be lowercase, and it needs to be set to 0. Okay, create it at the beginning and set it to 0. We've done both those. So we're done with that. We're already on to level 5. All right, so here we go. Choosing your background. This is what's going to allow us to choose. It says inside the draw loop, use an if statement. So inside our draw loop is where we're going to do this. And your 2 background functions to draw your background according to your score. So test your code by changing the starting score to 100. Then we'll run it, okay? And it says we could do a challenge by adding a 3rd background. But for now, we're just going to do what they want. So I'm going to just drop this in here. If score remember lowercase, is greater than, I'm going to set mine to where it's going to change at 10, background 2. So here we go. Otherwise, it's going to be background 1. Reset. Oops, what did I do? Oh, I didn't fill this out. 4 and 0. Reset. Run. So there's our background. Now, if I set this to 10, let's see what happens. Nothing. Well, that's weird. But if I read this, score is greater than 10. So 10 is not going to make a change. 11 will make it change. And there it is. There's our green background. Okay? That's how I know that this if statement is working. So I'm going to turn my score back to 0. Reset run, goes back to our background. So now we're on to level 6. So here we go. Make the scoreboard. So it says you also need a scoreboard so the player can keep track of score. There's already a show score function written. So do this. Read the code in the show score function. Call the function inside the draw loop after you draw the background and use the text block to display the score at the top of the screen. So we're going to go down, show score. So it says it's going to fill. We're going to have a text and it's going to write the word score on the screen. Let's see if that happens. It's not happening because I'm going to take and copy this because we have not called it up here. So where did it tell us to put it? Call the function inside the draw loop right after draw the background. So we're going to go to function. We got to call it right here. Paste that. Reset run. Hey, there it is. So we're done there. All right, so now we need to create our platform. Oh, wait, you know what? Oh, well, I don't think we're supposed to have our score on there yet. Let me go back and look again. So let's see. Okay, call the function inside the draw loop right after. Okay, read the code. Use the text block to display the score. Okay, we got to add to this. So we're back down at show score. We need to go into drawing. We need our text block. And this time, do you see how this one's got parentheses and it's uppercase? That means it's going to write the word score. That's what we see right here on the screen. We need to write the variable score on the screen. What did I just do? Here we go. We got to write score, and then we want it to go up on the screen. So we're going to go, let's say, I think we're going to go, let's try 80. And 15, reset run. It's up a little high. Let's go down like 30. That's a little too low. Let's try 5. That works. I like that. So now our score is on the screen. And I can test that real quick by changing this back to 10. Reset run. Now my score is 10. So I'm going to put that back at 0. Now we're ready to go on to level 7. Now it says create the platform. Okay, so we're going to be doing that. It says look at your worksheet and choose a platform sprite to create. Well, we're just going to use the one because they've got some animations. We're just going to use this for now. We can change those later. So in the create sprite area at the top, right here, okay, create a sprite with the create sprite block, give it the correct position, okay, use the say animation and velocity Y blocks. So let's start on this. We're going to create it, we'll give an animation, and then we'll come and look at the velocity, okay? So variable, sprite, we got our platform, and 200 puts it in the center right there. We're going to give it an image real quick. And it's going to be a platform. Reset run, there it is. Now, we want to move this. Okay, so now let's get our platform where we want it to be. We want it to be up at the top. So let's go 100, and let's go 0. Reset run, that puts it up at the top. Looks good. What else did it want us to do? Oh, it wanted us to give it a velocity. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And minimize that. A velocity Y because we want it to move down. Platform. And let's go to velocity of 3. Run. There it goes. So it's moving. And notice it's not going to come back. So right now, that's all we want. We look through here. We created it, gave it an animation and the velocity. So now we're on to 8. All right, here we go. Right now, your platform sprite moves down, but it doesn't loop back. So what we need to do, use the function block to create a loop platforms. Notice it's plural. Function at the bottom of your code. Use an if statement inside. So let's first scroll to the very bottom. There we are. I'm going to create a function there. So I was already on function. I just pulled that out. And it says loop platforms. Notice it's a capital P. So, oops. Don't want that. Loop platforms. There we go. It says use an if block. So I'm going to go into control, grab an if block. Inside to check whether the platform has gone to the bottom or off the bottom. If it has, move it back to the top and then call the function up in the area. All right, so let's do this. Math, we're looking for greater than, and we're looking to see if my sprite's Y position, and that is platform, y is greater, and I want it to be off the screen a little bit. So I'm going to do, let's do 420. Okay. If it has gone below that, I want my sprite's Y position, platform, to go, and I'm going to put it up above the screen. So I'm going to do a -20. That's going to put it up above. And the last thing I need to do, I'm going to copy this, and we're going to call it in the draw loop. So here we go. Go back to my functions. I got to grab out this one. Control V. I'm going to run. Here comes my platform. Let's see if it loops. And there it goes. Nice. So it is looping. On to level 9. It says make the second platform. So here we go. You need to copy 2 parts into my looping platforms. So copy the code that created the platform, my sprite, velocity, all that, and paste it directly beneath it. Okay, change the name to platform 2. Let's do that first, and then we'll go back and look. So if I put my mouse right here at the corner, I can just drag a box, hit Control C. Okay, as soon as that turns black and flashing down there, I can hit Control V. Now, platform 2, platform 2, platform 2. If you struggle with that, you can go ahead and just drag the blocks out. Not a big deal. Okay, so we got that. Now let's see. It said to do something. It says inside the loop function, copy the if statement and paste it directly underneath the original. Change the sprite name in the new lines, run and test it. But it wanted us to do something with. Change the name. Well, here's the thing. We got to change where it's popping up at, because it's going to pop up in the exact same place, and we don't want that. So we're going to change this from 100 to, let's come over to about, let's do 250 and see what happens. There it is. We want to go further. Let's do a little bit more. Let's do 300. Okay, I can deal with that. Now, let's separate them a little bit. Right now we're at 0. I'm going to go to -20. We're going to do more. We're going to go -60. There we go. There's a little bit of separation between them. And why is it already looping? Oh, it's not looping anymore. So it comes down but doesn't loop. So now we got to fix this. We're going to create another if statement. Okay. Same exact thing. So if I don't want to drag them out, again, I can go in here, copy, Control C. Now, as soon as that turns black right there, I can hit V, and it's right below. Platform 2, platform 2, reset run. There they come. And they're looping. Good. All right. Level 10. Create an item. So it says do this. Oh, and it even gives us, right? Random number for X position, 5350, and our Y, negative 30, negative 60. So I'm going to pause the video right here, and I'll make a second one for the remainder. We're going to